Good evening and welcome to the Pizza Roundtable, part of the I Need Pizza Club network, where every evening around 9 o'clock Eastern, we talk about the goings-on in the pizza world. I'm joined by two co-hosts this evening. First, Anna Crucitt, master pizza Angela maker, and of course, Will Dumas, master takes of pizza guy. So, hi everybody. Good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Doing great. Another hot day in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, hot everywhere. July sales really rocking, I'm assuming?
Yes. Yeah, it's been a great summer. A lot of rain, but when it's not raining, it's really hot. So makes up
Take
for
it.
it.
Take it. Will, how are you? How are your pizza adventures this past week?
I'm doing all right, man. I don't have anything too exciting, but I think maybe next time we're on, I have an interesting pizza item that I purchased. And it has to deal with a pizza, and it came from my local Asian market. So
Oh,
intriguing
what a
how that one will.
tease. My goodness, is it next week already? Goodness, that's amazing. Yeah, it's great. Me, I celebrated a birthday last Friday, which is great. So I shocked everyone. I made pizza. I made a mac and cheese pizza about the size of my head. I ate the whole thing in one sitting. It was wonderful. And I did not share. It was just, happy birthday to me. I regret nothing.
You shouldn't have to.
Oh my gosh.
Happy
And
birthday, Kim.
this guy coming in prepared with the party hat. Thank you. It was wonderful. Everyone was so kind. So we have like 28 articles or 8 to get into this week. So let's just I'm just gonna pick one at random. Not random. Hey, anyone ever do anything wrong? I've
No.
done something wrong. And sometimes when you do something wrong, you need someone to pick you up. And that's exactly what happened in this article in USA Today as I pull it up here. So unfortunately, individual was getting a pizza delivered. They were going a little too fast and they got in trouble with the law. No worries, though, because local authorities decided to deliver the pizza for them. So, courtesy of USA Today, this food delivery gets 5 stars after pizza police stepped in to finish up after they arrested the delivery driver. The order was, of course, hot and ready. What else? And the suspect was, I love this, caught and stay. It's perfect journalism. So yeah, Tempe Police Department arrested the driver, but they finished the delivery anyways, to the chagrin of the customer. So Anna, what are your takes on this? Right? This just over the top. They were clearly filming. There was some PR going to happen here.
Right.
What do you think? Just good neighbors, or try a little bit too hard?
It actually made me wonder, how many times does this happen in a day across the United
Absolutely.
States, right? Like, I bet delivery drivers are getting pulled over because they're drivers, right? And that's what they do. And so,
They're
like,
hustling.
what percentage of the time does law enforcement finish the Instacart order, the Grubhub order? Like, I need some statistics on this. That's what I was thinking going through it. Because I feel like my luck, I wouldn't get my dinner. But I'm happy for her. She did.
Yeah.
I'm with you
Will
on this
takes.
one.
Come on, takes
Yeah,
me here.
this one's a bit of a stretch to me to think about because I want to say we've heard a similar article just in my
We
vague
have.
memory, maybe last year, and it was like the driver was outside the door. You know what I mean? And then like the officers grabbed the pie, brought it to the door. This seemed, from what they quoted in here, they looked at the map, like how far were they going? You know what I mean? Was this like miles away? Were they on the street? Like that's where I'm getting into a little bit of a gray area of what really happened here.
Yeah, I'm with you, right? And they say they didn't say why the driver was arrested, which that's a little sketchy. My problem with this, and I have many, is that who orders a hot and ready delivery, right? Hot and ready is hot and ready there. You go get it, you eat it in the car home. You don't get that delivered. That's not delivery pizza. That's my problem with this.
I thought
Sorry if
you
that
were going to
offends.
say, who gets the tip?
All right. That is a good point, though. Probably, well, you have to make bail somehow, and it turns out the 20% on top is just
Wonder.
every little bit counts. That's a good point. Who does you have to cash tip that, right? I mean, you can't. Can they take the tip? Can the officers?
No,
Probably not.
certainly not. And also, I do, for the sake of their community, hope that they were relatively close to that house because I feel like they were being paid by the tax dollars to do something else. And so, if they were just
All
headed
right,
in
that's a
that
good point.
direction, and perhaps she lived right beside the station, and they didn't
Maybe
mention that in the article. I just feel like there's so
they
many.
had to look at a map, like Will said. So like it's
Yes,
not like
that's
next
the
door. If you're
thing.
looking at a map,
Then it's not in your jurisdiction, and you shouldn't be going there.
these are takes, and I'm forced to agree with them. I think. Oh, all's well that ends well, except for the
We're gonna
individual
keep
who broke the
digging on.
law allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
We don't know.
the woman looked really happy to get the pizza though.
She
And
looked
so
ecstatic.
like,
Like
I think that was a surprising shock of the century for her,
But
probably, of
also,
who dropped that off.
but like, if there were police officers standing at my front door and they handed me, like, I would be terrified.
yeah, I'm not eating this. Like
That's
how
the point.
cold was that pizza?
But Anna, to what you said, what was the arrest for? Is there a reason I should be concerned about eating this pizza? Is this the most stand-up individual now that's driving it to me because they just got arrested? They were speeding, okay. If there was something else, possibly, I don't know if I want that
Respiration
pie, you
Generally, you
know?
don't get arrested for speeding. Generally, I mean, you would have to really be cooking.
Yeah, I think that's
Generally,
yeah, I think you were about 40 over or so, right? Get you arrested. I have no
uh,
knowledge of
oh,
this from any kind of standpoint like
I
that. This is just what
say
I've
yeah.
heard out there, Jim. That's all.
I wonder if the pizza was getting cold and they just really needed it to be hot, and so he just sacrificed himself.
I'm surprised that pizza wasn't evidence. If you know what I mean.
That's a good point. Good point.
Fair. Had been a higher quality pie, perhaps. So, speaking of delivery, can anyone guess, if you read the articles beforehand, who delivered the first online pizza? Can anyone guess?
Like, who actually, like the person or the company?
The company. No, I want the person. I want his or her name.
I actually want their name. That would be
Yeah,
really cool
that
history.
actually would be cool. You should get a plaque. Luckily, Food and Wine has done the work for us. How this clunky website for a major pizzeria chain wants the future of food delivery for the era of pizza delivery apps. There was Pizza Net. All right, let's look at the pizza. Who made that pie?
I
Come
know who
on.
it is. I know who it is.
I know you know it is. 1994, Pizza Hut launched the first web page for ordering pizza online, dubbed Pizza Net, which customers could access through. Here's a shock, pizzahut.com. Still required phone verification to show customers the possibility of purchasing food for delivery online. 1994 seems earlier than I would have thought, right? I mean,
I,
that's
I, I
pretty.
thought so on
That's
that too.
like you're still getting 20 hours free at AOL from Blockbuster in like 94.
I felt like I was in school playing Oregon Trail with like the big floppy disk in the computer. I didn't
Yes.
know there was an internet that I could connect to. You know what I mean? I'll say that.
What was it like? What was the first Windows though? Windows 94?
One, the nerd in me
What
says
year was
confidently.
that?
Well, Windows 95 came out in 95, so it would have been like 93. No, I'm just like, I'm figuring it out. So probably 1992. Like,
I'm pretty sure we had the internet in our house in 95. Like my dad was
Wow.
kind of ahead of the game with that. And so I don't remember him ever having a pizza delivered, but I honestly didn't even guess Pizza Hut. I did in my mind before I read the article thought that was probably a Domino's move because
I
it
would say
sounded like it
Domino's
would
all day.
have been them.
Yeah.
But that's pretty impressive that, that was Pizza Hut. I actually saw Scott Wiener has a keyboard. It's like one of his top 3 favorite things. Did you guys ever see his Instagram? He has a keyboard for a computer that there's a pizza button on it and it takes you to PizzaNet. It's like a direct link
That's
on this
so good.
That's
keyboard,
That's so
awesome.
good.
order pizza delivery. I thought it's amazing.
They've got a picture here. I tried to pull it up on archive, but this is perfect. So this is what it looked like. I mean, this was the basic, literally and figuratively, right? The website. It is name, street address, voice phone, which is pretty great. Here's my question. If you're on the internet, you had to have 2 phone lines, right? You're not calling, right? You're
Of
knocking somebody
course.
off. So I love this. I love it a lot. You think of how many apps and how many delivery ways there are, and how just like with eight taps you can get pizza delivered by your local police officers. And now, right? I mean, this was 31 years ago. Like, it blows my mind. So I love this story. Well done, Food and Wine. Well done, Will, for finding it. It was a fun.
Yeah, this was a good one. I'm disappointed that you guys thought it was Domino's. You can't out Pizza the Hut, okay? So you know what I mean.
Really?
That's just how it goes back then.
They're trying.
I
So
guess
it was
I
a
didn't
Pizza
know.
Hut
I
was a
didn't know.
Pizza Hut was a big player back in the day. You know that was
Yeah. And didn't Pizza Hut do like the first Bitcoin pizza too? Like, weren't they always cutting
Yes.
edge of like
Cutting edge. I'm with you
Slicing
on
it.
this one. Slicing
Yeah.
the edges, Jim.
slicing? That's so good. So listen, we can pay with pizza for a lot of ways, right? You know, traditional dollars, Bitcoin. What's the wildest thing you could imagine paying for a pizza with? Well, turns out you could
I know where
trade
this
a
is going.
python for a pizza at this wild restaurant in the Florida Everglades. And honestly, I don't think I need to say anything else other than this. So, Wildman's Pizza, Pasta, and Python's a casual spot in Everglades City. We zoom in here. Florida that boasts a diverse menu. It features everything from hand toss to Detroit and calzones and straw bowls. But the most interesting thing is that very special deal. The restaurant claims it will give customers a pizza in chains for a large python. $24 for a large python. It's wild conservationist, owns the reptile-themed pizzeria. Of course it is. And the Burmese python is an invasive species, so it's a way to kind of clean up the local, I would say, wildlife and get a pie back. We're going to start with Will on this. Will, catching a python worth a pizza. Talk to me.
So I obviously Googled like size of Burmese python afterwards. This is like a 200-pound snake. So I if that came in this restaurant while I was sitting there, I don't think I'd be sitting there anymore. I'm not a snake guy. This is insane. Listen, an interesting gimmick to it. There's absolutely no way anyone's ever brought one of these boys in there, but that would be intriguing if someone wanted to kind of run with this and make a little stunt of it. I'll say that.
Yeah, run with it. I would run if I had a python in my hands. Anna, start trading snakes for pies up at Mercurio's?
Literally burn it down. Burn it down. If I am in that facility and that snake comes in, because, then my head immediately goes to like, well, where are you putting the snake? Do you have like a habitat for this thing until
Yes.
authorities come and take it away? Like, where is it going?
Or until it
Like,
gets out. Until it gets out. I would be
I
worried someone taking
couldn't
it away.
imagine.
Is the snake alive? I kind of thought the snake. Or are we thinking the snakes?
Alive, of
Snakes.
course. You don't, are
Yeah,
you
Jim.
kill
Come
it?
on, Jim.
Well, there was a show like where competition where who could kill the most snakes.
I don't know what the
Lives even
hunting
worse.
license looks like for snakes in that area, so perhaps it could come in dead, but then for all the effort of killing that, just go spend them. I will give you the money. Don't to buy the pizza. That is insane. That's even like a weird thing to like promote. I guess you have a reptile pizzeria, which
Like,
I don't see the
well,
I
parallel
think
there.
these.
but
Well,
there are weeks down there like where people come down, they like exterminate pythons. Like, it is a
yes,
thing in the Everglades, and
it
it's
is an
during that week.
it is an invasive species. It's not like a
Yes,
keeper of
I
from
understand
that.
that. So I didn't know that people were going specifically to hunt that week. That makes
Yes.
sense.
Yeah.
I think they did note in there that I guess the gentleman who runs this establishment hosts the, for lack of a better
Host
term,
the.
Society of Python people who
I'm
are
sure it's a
Python
society.
hunters, who are Python
Let's
hunters.
share this back again. Let's
I mean, what week that
share the
is, I
heck.
just make sure not to go into that state.
It's over. It's going on now, actually. July 11th, the 20th.
Can't think of one good reason to go there in
Well,
Florida.
you could meet up and swap stories. That's his hope.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
mean,
See,
I am sure those gentlemen, I'm going to assume very few ladies, maybe, have some stories to tell about the Florida Python Challenge.
No, and I think you're probably right. I bet it's like way more than we even like. He probably is giving away a lot of pizzas. But I do think now that you're saying that they're being hunted, that they are dead. I was under the impression that they were like collecting them and then they relocate them. I didn't think that they would like totally exterminate them, but
But that's even worse. What are you going to do with the 200-pound, 10-foot snake? Like, you're just not going to put that in the dumpster.
You know,
I mean, you can burn the building down. I don't know.
was it, Jim, was it in the winter when we were reading about the Pizza Hut snake pizza that was in Thailand or Taiwan? I'm trying to
I was
remember
thinking that.
which
Yeah.
which one it was. In case you
Yeah.
needed a use for it, just putting it back
These
out
are
there.
anchovies. Trust me. A lot of anchovies.
What's a snake taste like?
It's very gamey. I've had snake once.
Yeah.
It's
I'd
kind of
eat it.
chewy, kind of like alligator, but worse. Somewhere between eel and alligator. It was
I
not
like
good.
alligator.
I like eel.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
worse
a little
than
bit
both of those.
sweet.
So it's the worst parts of both of those proteins.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it, got it,
yeah.
got
So
it.
So
it won't be on my
listen,
dinner tomorrow night.
no,
Okay.
I know a place in Chicago where you can get that, but this is a tough segue. This might be my toughest one. We're gonna try it. So there are a lot of ways you can mash up pizza, right? I don't think snakes are going to be on this one, but I thought this was interesting. So KFC Korea, we love our Asian pizza offerings. Releases limited time Kenchia blending chicken and pizza. There's nothing else in this article except this picture, which looks like a piece of fried chicken made into pizza. We're going to go with Anna. Would you smash it?
And
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know why I haven't eaten that already.
Yeah,
Like, of course that makes
worth the
sense.
flight. Yeah.
It's worth it.
So, Jim, I want to remind everyone KFC did release this last year and it was in the US. So, last year, though, this one I'm reading now, or from the Korea one, I did a little more research on this one. Jim, this is cheddar and mozzarella, sweet and sour tomato sauce, pepperoni, olives, onions, and peppers. But the US version was previously just tomato sauce, mozz, and that was the standard. Reminds me of the double down, right? Where they
I
do the
was gonna say double
sandwich
down,
with it
but
on top of it. I didn't get to try this last year when it came out. I would try either version though. Absolutely.
I remember going to KFC and they were sold out, trying to get one. I think this is awesome. I would smash it all day, right? You eat it in the car. It's what it is, but I love it. But I love that we did it first. I feel like a lot of times like Japan does the weird thing with the volcano cheese and like we get it after, but USA, we finally did this one first.
I wonder why they only do it for a limited time though, because it's not like they don't have the chicken. That's like, generally the protein's like the harder thing to like put into. It's just cheese.
It's cheese and topping. Oh, Will, you're the business guy. What's the LTO
I don't.
rationale here?
I don't want to spoil it and say that they started this one in Asia in 2015, Jim, but it's
You
been
could
out
spoil it.
there. Unfortunately, I feel like we're kind of behind. I don't want to lead anyone astray. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
appreciate you.
It's
Honesty and
still out
journalism. I
there.
get it.
I get it. Yeah.
I
I
get
don't
it.
know why. I don't know why we do the LTO. This one,
Fair.
I would keep it rolling, man.
Yeah, I
Sounds
agree.
good.
So yeah, because the fun thing about the LTO, Ray, is you kind of leave yourself in the pizza maker's hands, right? And I feel like pizza omakase is becoming a trend.
Oh.
Turns out National Geographic agrees. So how pizza omakase became a trend and where to try it. So we've talked about this many times. We have loved it. But Will, you shared this one initially. Just your thoughts before we get into the article about pizza omakase and what kind of spoke to you about this art.
I love the concept, right? And in the past, actually, one of the makers that was not referenced in here was Peyton Smith from Mission Pizza Napolitana out
Exactly. Who I
in
feel like is the
Salem.
OG. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
man. At least in America, I feel like he's been out there
Yeah.
doing it for
Right.
sure. So shout out to you, Peyton, and the Omakase. But I think the reference here, like that pie is beautiful, caught my
That's
attention.
so
I'm so
awesome.
interested in it. I think the nuance to this is what really I think is the way that you do it is what makes it different to me, where it's not just we sit and there's multiple pizzas that just like come out where we just kind of order a pie. There's actually some kind of art to this where it's like I'm getting one slice or one piece of something and then it changes. So it's the idea of that kind of counter type service, right, that you're typically, seeing in Japanese cuisine for the omakase, but brought here and kind of heightened, right, in some sort of way, which is just different to me than we're ordering a bunch of pies and I can try one or try a different one. That's a different vibe than what's actually being created here. So like, this is just cool.
Yeah, agreed. Anna, your take, right, of the kind of the omakase is this has got to be much harder for the restaurateur, right, to do this. obviously, right? Than just bring
The
out 5 pies.
logistics of it are just absolutely insane for it to, because every piece or every item that you're putting out there on the table has to be done all at the same time, all together, and it has to be done to perfection. And so I've been to the Pepe
You
and
have.
Grande in so
Oh my gosh, tell
and
us.
so I had a bit of that. Got to see the whole restaurant upstairs. There's like 5 restaurants in one, and the
Yeah.
patio, and we got to have like a seated tasting where they did this for our table, and it was incredible. And then you just sit there and you're like, what am I doing? What do
Right.
I
Who am
think?
I?
It's like, to this. So impressed with restaurants that can really pull that up.
Yeah, agreed. I think, it's fun, right? It's curated. It takes you on a journey. The work behind it, like people don't realize it's not just you make 8 pies and bring, like, there's so much work behind this. But it's a fun concept. I think pizza being such a communal food as is lends itself to it. So I think this trend's going to explode. I think it's fun. Some other pizzerias that we know certainly can find is in Milan, Seba's in Costa Rica, Pizzeria Say, which we've talked about here, doing it. And of course, Tony's Pizza Napoleon, which is just 7 pizzas, which of course, like worth it, worth every dollar. And then Pizza Bar in 38th in the sky in Tokyo. So cool concept. I'm here for it. And I think it's going to grow. I think it's a fun thing to do. You could DIY it. Just get like 5 pizzas and 8 friends and kind of just order them at once and kind of do it
I will
yourself.
say, Jim, we were when I was back in Japan, we were really trying to go to check out Pizza on 38th, but then I had my kids and I was like, oh, I don't know if they're gonna want to sit through this, and we didn't end up kind of doing it, but it's a regret. I would think it would have been so cool. But I would highlight how cool, if you don't have to reshare it, but anyone else who wants to read it, just like the Pizzeria Say like menu, it looks like that they're doing like the unique combinations that they are like putting together on pizza is just wild. And I think they do it one night a month. So like that would be, if I'm in LA, that would be a destination I absolutely have to check out for multiple reasons. This on top of it, but just their pizza in general, right? So totally
You
cool.
I think that you could really, like, for someone like me, I would really only have capacity for once a month.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Right. Right.
your energy into it. But some of the places that it's just like consistent menu. You're like, I have no idea how you pull that off.
So you need almost a separate staff just to do that, right? I mean, like separate equipment. I think of all the pizza parties I host, I do like 8 different styles. Like I'm doing this just for free for friends. I should start charging like 200 a head. But
Why
I like it,
not? Why not? I think it's
honestly.
just one of the coolest things to take a food that is not traditionally like fine dining and kind of give it that little twist and really highlight it that way, just to really show, even if it's just the simplest one. And like, where you were, I forget the gentleman's name, but like how simplistic some of those pies were, probably, but how good they were, just amazing, right? And just one
They're
little bite.
delicious, but really what I was just so drawn to was like how beautiful they were and how beautifully they were presented. The
Yeah.
dishes that they used, and it was just like the whole experience, and that was what was just so fascinating about it. The pizza delicious, yes, but
Yeah.
they really delivered on all of it.
The experience, right? The whole energy of everything. It's not just ordering some pizzas. So,
Right. It's not just sitting there getting pies delivered to the table and I take a piece of this one and a piece of that one.
which
Whole
there's
different
nothing wrong
vibe.
with, is
No,
one of my favorite
totally,
things to do on the
totally.
planet.
Yeah,
Trust
for
me.
sure, for sure.
Come and do that with
Yeah,
my
come do
restaurant.
that. Uh, Honestly, yeah, my wife and I were talking like 8 minutes ago about like, well, Pittsburgh's a perfectly good 6-hour drive for Gelato Pizza, right? Like, that's fair. So we'll do that. We'll omakase everything.
You can come for my birthday.
When's it
Perfect.
when
I'm
you
29 plus
celebrating?
18 this year too, in November.
Oh my gosh, road trip it. What could go wrong? A road trip in the mountains in November
In
from
the middle
from
of
Michigan?
November. You'll
Yeah.
make it just fine. Don't
Man,
come from
this
Erie.
sounds great. This sounds great.
Yeah, I'll fly. Well, if you want to omakase things domestically and you can't get to one of these spots, you could try that little neighborhood place, Domino's, because they have a secret menu. And they have 3 secret menu pizzas. Taste of Home tried all 3, and I just want first takes. So we're just gonna go first. Rachel's Sweet Buffalo. So we're gonna start with New York style crust. I mean, clearly. And then we're gonna add robust inspired robust inspired tomato sauce, bacon, pepperoni, pineapple, and hot buffalo sauce. We're going to go with Anna. What do you think of the pie? What do you think of the Rachel Sweet Buffalo?
It looks the part. That would meet expectation.
It looks the
So
part.
perfect. That's so perfect. Good night, everybody. That's the perfect way to describe.
Look at the pizza that you're eating. I mean, it could have been cooked a little bit differently, I would say, but overall, I think the flavor combination with it is, hot buffalo sauce with pepperoni and pineapple. Like, I've never had pineapple on a pizza. I probably wouldn't make that, but I think that that's like very common, popular. I can see it being a hit. So,
Yeah, fair.
looks the part, meets expectation.
I struggle with this one. I'm all for the pineapple. The buffalo with the pineapple is the one thing I wasn't particularly just expecting. The one thing I wanted to highlight with this reviewer, and I read this one, was that they said the pepperoni and bacon took a back seat from a flavor perspective. It's hard to me envisioning bacon and pepperoni not being out there. So I wonder how intense these other flavors were that those took a back seat on anything.
I mean, let's call it. This is a heavy drizzle of Franks, and I am no stranger. I don't know. I think if I'm going to have pineapple on pizza, I need all the other stuff going on. So I don't hate it, right?
Yeah.
I don't hate it at all.
I think you also need it just to kind of tone it down. But like you said, like when I have pepperoni on pizza too, it's very forward. So
It's
that
pepperoni.
would be,
It's pepperoni. It shows up. It's there.
It should be the star.
And that doesn't have a lot of pineapple on it, from what I can tell.
No, it doesn't.
But
thankfully. All right, so we're gonna go one for one. Next, it's Spencer's garlic parm bonanza. This pie looks like bonanza. So we've got homemade pan crust, garlic parmesan sauce. It looks like not tomato based. Banana peppers, love, sausage, and shredded Parmesan Asiago cheese. Never had Parmesan Asiago. So we're gonna go with Aaron. I know you recently made a white pie. Was it missing banana peppers and little balls of sausage?
it definitely was not missing either of those two ingredients. But I would say, of the ones in this article, this one was the most interesting to me.
Yeah.
I think that
Okay.
the flavor profile, I've never eaten anything like it, but I can just imagine, that they're kind of on the right track. I just like maybe one cheese too many, almost.
Exactly. Will, what do you think?
I'm with you on there. The cheese is a little bit too much, but I could see this kind of finding its way into like a flatbread or a breadstick. I think this flavor profile is interesting, and I would totally be down to try it. Slightly less cheese, but otherwise, I'm interested in this one for sure.
Yeah, as a top garlic bread, I love it. Probably would do without the sausage. I don't think it needs it. I love the banana peppers. Love banana peppers. And again, less pizza, more like say flatbread, appetizer, whatever. But the flavors, flavors play, right? I wonder what the the Parmesan Asiago cheese is. That's got to be just a hard cheese, I don't know, but interesting. And I think this is the one that would be most apt to make it home. So we'll go 2 for 2 on this one. And then Hannah's, they even party cut it. Hannah's avocado would make it better. Alfredo veggie melt. We're gonna start with crunchy thin crust. We're gonna add Alfredo sauce, green peppers, mushrooms, onions, spinach, feta, and that shredded Parmesan Asiago cheese. Will, what do you think?
So this I am not going this direction. I struggle with the inauthentic Alfredo sauce that just like hits me in a funky way, and I'm like, no, don't want that. So that's where I stop, unfortunately, on this one. Not that I was misled on the garlic sauce on the other one. That was who knows what, but the Alfredo concept of it, that's a tough one. Just not my jam.
100%. It's the same. Like, it didn't need the Alfredo sauce. Like,
Not at all.
I don't even know why. Like, who's eating that? It's just.
It's a spinach and artichoke pie without the spinach and artichoke component to this, and maybe we tried to play off that. I think that's maybe where it went.
Just steer into that.
Yeah,
it is.
Could be delicious that way.
Yeah.
Here's where I'm offended, right? Look at this party cut. Okay. You've got this little like whisper here. You've got this edge here, which is like a quarter pie. Like, that's where I'm offended. It's in the
Listen.
party cup. The flavor's fine. Do what you want. But if you're gonna party cup pie, you need those like microscopic corners for the chef. It's gotta be 3 down. That's where I'm offended. Flavors, yeah, I think you're right. It's a good point. It's, spinach artichoke dip without the artichokes. But like the flavors play. I think the feta is fun. I liked it. It looks like they definitely went out to the crust. So
Yeah.
not the worst. I would eat it. I would try it. But let's just cut it proper.
This is like a New Haven Frank Pepe cut, like whatever direction we were slicing here is what this felt like. This this party cut ended
It
up as.
offends me. It offends my party cut
I agree too.
sensibilities.
And if you're gonna take a picture of it for this, like, I know that they were just ordering, and that was what they got, but it's also like I couldn't imagine that being the cut, that's how that was
I'm with
sold.
you. I,
I just
you
But
and
I
me
would like
both.
to buy it anyway. So
I just picture being like the kid at the party and you got that little tiny one on the bottom and you're just like,
listen, I grew up with 6 siblings. You never wanted that little slice.
Right.
You're always
Exactly.
the first. You knew.
Equity is everything. Trust me, when I party cut, I make sure I'm out there. I'm measuring because you can't because
They
one of
used
the
a
girls gets a
used
smaller.
a wheel for that.
I use the thing. Come on.
Well, yes, but they did not.
Oh
They're
no, I don't even know if they used a wheel. They just looked at it and it was cut.
scissors.
Use the stapler and back. Right. Ending on a similar but happier note. I thought this was cool. So this is courtesy of Timeout. Chicago just launched a pizza pass, getting you a discount slices at 25 Chicago area pizzerias. So we've been talking about Chicago pies a lot because, well, I pick the articles most times, but I thought it was cool. So step 1, spend $15 per year and get your pass. That's very reasonable. Step 2, you sign up, and so you get entered for a free pizza party. You could win a weekend getaway in Chicago, come in from the suburbs. But really, it's coupons to a bunch of Chicago pizzerias. So I pulled up the list. These are heavy hitting names. Roots, which is a Quad Cities style. You've got some deep dish, Connie's, Giordano's, Home Run Inn, what we talked about, Pizzeria Aura, Prince Street, Nancy. I mean, this is a good list of pizzas. We'll go with Anna. What's the basis behind this, right? As a pizzeria owner, why would you want to be part of this, right? When you got literally all of your direct competitors in this too. What's the pull here?
Because you need to be in the consideration set. When people think of pizza in your city, your name has to be there. We participate in the pizza passport that they do in Pittsburgh. The
Okay,
price is much heavier than $15.
it's like
It's
nothing.
closer to maybe 50, I would say. And we definitely don't give people a year. You have about 3 weeks in March to get to, I think, close to 22 pizzerias. And, it is a free slice at these pizzerias. So you'll have people every Saturday just hitting up like 4 or 5 of them or mapping their trails, whoever's in the north of Pittsburgh, the south of Pittsburgh. So you get to try a whole bunch of different pizzas for $50. I've never participated in it because I'm usually working, whenever these weekends come up. But yeah, your name needs to be on that list. So that's why we participate.
Feel that? Will, what are your thoughts? But I mean, there's some big Chicago names on this guy, mostly deep dish too, which I thought was interesting.
so to that point, I think the way you just described it in is interesting. So if I was thinking about from the consumer side, $15, I'd probably be like, yeah, I don't know if this is worth it. Why do I want to do this 15 until I understand who's participating? I'd probably be more enticed with, wow, if I spent 50, I'd be like, really must be something really good going on. This for 15, I'd be like, I'll just stop at a pizzeria that I want to eat at. But then seeing the list, Jim, that you're putting together, then I'm like, oh, damn, all of these really good pizzerias are participating. This is not the mall pizzeria with just whomever on there and you're going to stop by. These are quality institutions that are participating. So like now I'm interested. So the participation list, I think, is like what's relevant for this to be a draw, and which is cool. So
Yeah.
I side there.
Did they
Yeah,
say how many tickets they sell or how many?
I looked how many passes they've sold. I could not tell. I reached out to some of my friends that worked at pizzerias. They didn't know, right? They're kind of the recipient. You got to think it's huge. The only thing that gives me pause is some of these locations are, listen, deep dish isn't the thing a Chicagoans going to go to like every week, right? So some of these might be a little more one off, but I don't know. I think it's interesting. I'd love to find out, and I'll send a note to timeout to see if they can tell us like how many of these do they sell, because $15 is a very low barrier, and a pizza crawl through, I mean, you could do some of these just in the loop in River North and get like 8 or 10 of these. So I think it's fun. It's interesting, Aaron, you said that there, like, there's one in Pittsburgh, and there's probably one in every state that maybe we don't realize. But what a great way to try a lot of different pies and give you an excuse to try a lot of different pies.
There are people who will come, and because we can't do a slice, right? So at Mercurius, you get an entire pizza, and we offer two different kinds. They do allow you to put parameters on it. So, you can't come Friday between 6 and 10. You can't come Saturday, but this year we just let it go. You could come whenever because it'll just stack the time outside of that and not really work for the kitchen. So it was easier to kind of just make it whenever. But they also, for the Pittsburgh passports, they sold 300, and they're pretty hard to get. So it's like they launch it and you kind of have to buy it right away. And then they tell the pizzeria owners, like, this is how many you have. They do give us like a stipend to kind of cover the costs around it too. So that's really nice. And it's really, I would say from us, because we're kind of like outside, a lot of these are like in the South, like on this side of Pittsburgh. We're over here. There are some pizzerias, but we don't fall into like the normal loop of where people would be driving. But I would say we probably get close to 50% participation, which is what's really cool about it too, is that people who've never had Mercurios are now making their way. And hopefully they buy gelato or they sit and eat it and buy some other items. You never know. So that's the
Yeah,
goal.
you're just not coming in for one. So yeah, so just reading it right, so there's free slices, buy one get one free deals, and more. So it's not just free slices, which probably explains the price point a little bit more. But it's fun. It's fun. Will, you gotta come up? We gotta do this one weekend. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I'm in, man. Yeah, dude. You know what I think the interesting part is this, and like the concept behind it is like the support probably around it. Like you both mentioned, like the pizza tour. But like, what is that point then? Is there like a map? Is there some kind of interactive component that's going to encourage me to go to 4 or 5 of them in the same area? Because then I'm definitely trying someone I didn't try before, right? So I think if I just saw these and we're like, I had to go here and there, but if they're close together, or there's a way that people are kind of organizing it to be like, hey, on Saturday, we're going to, here's a 12 o'clock, a 1 o'clock, check this out, make a map, do something, then I think it's even more engaging, which would be super.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna look for other cities maybe for next week, because I think it'd be fun to kind of snoop on what other rounds, and I bet that New York one is pretty epic. I just say.
I'm picturing your next, instead of a book endeavor, Jim, like your next like TV show can be like Jim, the traveling pizza tour guy, and you are just hitting up all these pizza different ones in different places like this and doing these little tours. It's going to be really interesting. I'm
Yeah,
loving it.
Can't wait to
that's
see.
that's my literal dream, Michael. If you're watching, I know you are. Let's talk. Let's make this go. Let's fire up the jet, because I don't have the spiky hair like the one guy, but we can get pretty close. So awesome. Well, that was the most fun 45 minutes of my week. Anna, where can people find you and your shirts pizzeria on the internet?
Mercurios. It's at Mercurios PGH on Instagram and Anna.Crucitt if you want to follow me there.
You should, honestly. Will, what about you, bud?
I'm at Funny Will. Follow me anywhere there. I talk about food. Sometimes I post pictures if I remember.
Yeah, it's true. He does both and sends us great content. So you want to get in that inner circle. I am at Jim Cook's Food Good if you like food and or pizza. And of course, I know you're already following I Need Pizza Club, Instagram, YouTube, like, rate, subscribe. I give all the love to this podcast. And reminder, right after the show, we do an after show on Clubhouse if you are so inclined. If not, we will see everyone next week at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific for another episode of the Pizza Roundtable, part of the I Need Pizza Club Network. Good night, everybody.
See ya.